Hello. My name is Carly, and since January of this year, I have been living on this property as the full-time groundskeeper, venue manager, resident witch. And it is now November, and yet somehow this is the first video I'm attempting to make. Quite frankly, I don't know how my lovely, amazing employers have let me get away with it for this long, but the travesty ends now. This place deserves to be shown off and loved. It's been magical living here, and I want to document it forever. And also, that is kind of my job. So, do not live here alone. I live here with my sweet little pit baby, Scout. And she is a tough broad. So don't come here unless it's by appointment, or I will sick my dog on you. When I first visited the manor, I had no idea what to expect. The Zillow listing had a total of like 8 photos. The last mile of dirt road was rough and took us deep into the hills of Southern California wine country. And not for the first time, I wondered if I was making a huge mistake uprooting my entire life to live and work here. It took about 5 seconds pulling up this driveway to completely fall in love with the place and to understand I was stumbling upon a very well hidden gem. So as you can see, this is turning right into the horseshoe driveway, which takes you to the front of the house. I'm not going to take you inside just yet. I promise you it's beautiful, but there's a lot to see. And while we do rent out the house, we primarily rent out the exterior. If you were to keep going straight up the driveway, you would pass along the side of the house and end up at my apartment, which is the building on the left. The apartment is on the top. The bottom floor, I think we're going to turn into a gym. All of our event spaces are through the 2 buildings in that direction. That's where our ballroom is, our gardens, our ceremony field, our hedge maze. So I'm going to show you around a little bit. I'm not going to give you a full tour because we have a lot of construction projects going on that aren't finished yet, and also it's an 18-acre estate, so it would take a long time. I'm going to have to split that up into multiple videos. Okay, let's go take a look. This is my apartment. A lot of what's on this property, a lot of this brick and stone, the original owner laid himself. He was an engineer, and his wife wanted to do weddings. So she really liked that English countryside cottage garden look, and he said, yeah. So this is actually an outdoor kitchen here on the left. If you go through this tunnel, you're going to meander through our gardens. If you keep going this way, you're gonna walk alongside the gardens and eventually end up near our hedge maze, and I'll show you that later. And then of course, if you turn right onto the deck here, you're going to go into our ballroom, so we'll head there next. And this is our ballroom. So it's a bit of a mess because we're renovating this kitchen over here. Everything is original to how the owner built it. We're not sure what else we're going to do exactly. We'll probably get rid of the wallpaper. In this far corner, we have stairs that lead down to bathrooms and a lounge area. We also have a second set of pools. These are our kind of natural stone pools. This top one actually heats up and is a massive jacuzzi. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of this so it's not in their way. We have storage up that way. There's a catering kitchen down that way. Oh, should I show you guys the view? Okay, fine. Probably the best view on the property. One of my favorite spots. You can see we have our infamous hedge maze. It's incredible. It's almost 6 feet tall. It's a lot taller than it looks because it drops down. So a couple of things to note. Putting a dance floor here. I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're doing because I'm really excited and I want to save that for a future video. This is a really pretty fountain that turns on. It's even prettier at night. Are you ready for this? Well, it's mildly disappointing. My camera quality sucks, so make an appointment, see it in person. So another interesting fact that still gives me nightmares is the original owner, there's only been one other owner, he got sick, needed to sell the place kind of fast. His wife had already passed, his kids lived out of state. He listed it on Zillow and was getting offers from developers 3 times his listing price. And do you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to level all of it, okay? They wanted to level it and put up track homes. I wasn't joking, I literally have nightmares. So I am making a few changes to my apartment as well, so I'm not going to show you everything in there either. I am going to go do some work in there and talk to you. Sorry, this tyrant is making so much noise. But I'm going to go do some work in my office, talk to you a little bit more about what I do here and how I got this job. And tomorrow, when I show you our ceremony field, I'll go into a little bit more of like the events that we're looking to host here. So what do I do here? It's my job responsibilities. I give tours, I communicate with our vendors and contractors and guests, I write the contracts, I rescue little creatures that, you know, end up where they're not supposed to. Oh, sweet. Okay. Oh, sweetness. It's okay. Hey, this way. There you go. Oh, there he goes. And I relocate other creatures. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. You stay down there, you little this cute little rattler. And a bunch of other random things like water the plants, run errands, get things we need. I met the owners through a friend of a friend. I was living in Utah at the time. They were living out here in Southern California. I got this job because I have a background in writing, and some of the stuff they needed help with was website and writing related. I'm pretty crafty and I'm pretty creative, and I also was living full-time in my camper van at the time. I had been living in it for 3 years. That's a whole other separate story, which I can be into a different time. And I was kind of done with it. I just wanted to settle down a little bit. So I settled down in Salt Lake, and then 6 months later, they're like, hey, do you actually want to settle down here? You know, they knew I was pretty flexible. I like a good adventure, and they needed someone who could just move out here on a whim. They're busy, they have other jobs and lives, and it worked out. And I still can't believe it, honestly. I am the luckiest human that I know. So I'm kind of bad at this whole filming thing. I feel like I'm supposed to say goodnight or something, but I'm going to bed now, and I'll see you tomorrow for the rest of the tour. Editing Carly here to laugh at myself because I'm walking so obnoxiously loud, and my mom used to make fun of me for this all the time, for how loudly I would walk down the hallway. Like, I am just clumping down these stairs, and it just makes me think of my mom. I love you, Mom. It's pretty cool. The hedge maze is off that way. The house is straight that way. And our ceremony field is actually that way as the crow flies, but that's how you're gonna get there. And that's the way the brides used to walk, was down this pathway and through these pillars. So the owners and myself, we really don't want to just do any old type of event here. We want to do like really unique events. We have a pretty cool wedding coming up this January. I think it's going to be like 300 people. It's going to be kind of gothic, and they have a vision that really matches the aesthetic of this place because this is a unique space. It's not necessarily going to fit every style. We want people who really want to utilize what this space has to offer. The last space on the property I'm going to show you is our wine cave slash man cave. This is where the groomsmen typically get ready. There's a bathroom and a shower. There's also a secret way to unlock the door. I'm not going to share that online, but this usually ends up being a favorite for people who visit. So I'm going to go check on a few of our other renovation projects now, and I'm going to take you along on the garden pathways so you can see some of the amazing work our landscapers do. That looks great. I wonder if Sergio's here today. Hey, okay, I gotta go talk to him. So I actually need to go take that snapshot of the hedge maze with the lights on. You will have already seen it earlier in the video, but I need to take it now. Fucking love it. God, horror movie in here. The things I do. I don't know, something like that. Okay, so that's basically all I have for you this week. There is so much more to say about this property, about the owners, about the history of it, and the future plans. But I'm gonna have to save that for another time because I've already sunk some 40 hours into making just this one video, filming and editing, because I'm pretty new to all of this. So bear with me. There's a lot more to see. We have a train. Guys, I didn't even get to the fact we have a rideable train. Pivot, pivot, pivot. So there's more to share. There's so much more to share. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Good night.